Welcome back to another video. It's your boy Slime. In today's video, I'm ranking Spider-Mans, Toby, Andrew, and Tom. And by no means do I think any of them are bad. I like every single one of them for different reasons, and I like all of the movies for different reasons, including The Amazing Spider-Man 2. That suit is just so peak, and some of the swinging scenes and fighting scenes in that movie, the choreography is really, really good. I know the story's lackluster, but it is a good movie, and Andrew Garfield is such an amazing actor. He does help sell it, and it has one of the biggest emotional beats. So without further ado, let's get into it. And number one, or actually we'll start with number three, my least favorite is going to be Andrew. I know I just kind of hyped him up, and that's kind of the reason I hyped him up, because his Peter Parker was not as faithful as an adaptation, and I know a lot of people don't like it. Me personally, I do like it, but I also don't. Like, I do and I don't. Like, it doesn't fit for Peter to be that cool and that good looking. I know that's kind of weird to say, but it doesn't. Peter Parker's kind of a loser, a nerd, and he gets bullied by being a nerd. So that version of Peter Parker just does not do it for me. But then the quips in that movie, Spider-Man's joking and laughing and doing everything Spider-Man should do. He's probably got some of the best quips out of the three Spider-Mans, so I'll give him some credit for that. He does sell the comedic aspect of Spider-Man very well, because Spider-Man is a funny guy. He jokes around with his criminals, and he kind of makes a joke out of it sometimes, and that version of Spider-Man does do that very well. The Peter is lackluster. He's kind of cool, which Peter Parker is cool. Like, don't get me wrong. In the comics, Peter pulls mad, I can't say the word I want to say because we're on YouTube, but he pulls mad female dogs in the comics. That's what I'm going to say. So he does pull in the comics. He gets Betty Brant, I believe. He gets Black Cat. He gets Gwen Stacy, and she falls and dies. And then he gets MJ. So he does pull in the comics, don't get me wrong. But that version of Peter is just a little bit too cool for me. And then that leads me to my second favorite, which is going to be Tom in number 2. Because I feel like he balances the Spider-Man and the Peter Parker really well. There's the whole problem with him being connected into the MCU, which honestly I didn't mind as much with Homecoming. I thought Homecoming was a great film. I thought the way they used the MCU to show that Spider-Man was a very grounded, small superhero, and throughout that movie he had to come to terms with that he wasn't the next Iron Man, that he wasn't going to be an Avenger. And by the end of the movie, he did come to terms that he ended up giving away the Avenger spot on the team. So in that aspect, I do like it, and he has his own struggles, but until like No Way Home, we don't really see a big struggle for him. Like, he doesn't really have to lose anything until he loses Aunt May, because if he did lose Uncle Ben, if he didn't, we don't see it on screen. That was off screen, other than Iron Man. Like, he did lose Iron Man in No Way Home or Far From Home. So he did struggle with that a little bit, but he didn't have nearly as many struggles as the next Spider-Man I'm going to talk about. Because basically, until No Way Home and until Brand New Day, which I haven't seen Brand New Day yet, Peter was chilling. Peter had Stark Tech. Peter always had a house. He didn't really have many problems with MJ, like, other than the identity thing, until No Way Home. And then he had a best friend, Ned. So Peter was really chilling. He had a great suit. So honestly, that version of Peter, he does balance everything really well. He balances the Spider-Man. He's a very funny Spider-Man, similar to Andrew in that aspect. He does crack jokes with the criminals. He does crack jokes with his villains. And then the Peter aspect, he does play a very good Peter Parker. He's a very intelligent Peter Parker. There's an argument to be made out of the 3 on-screen Peters. He could be one of the smarter ones. He makes his own web fluid, which Andrew does do too, but I believe Andrew's is probably stronger than his web fluid if you look at the scenes in No Way Home. But so he does make his own fluid, at least in Homecoming, and then I believe all his fluid's made from Stark. But he does know how to make his own web fluid, so he's a smarter version of Peter. And then I guess let's get into number 1. Number 1 is going to be Toby. Now, Toby probably is the lacklusterest of Spider-Man in suit, because he doesn't crack as many jokes. His jokes don't land as well. But the Peter Parker side, because that's really what makes Spider-Man Spider-Man. And Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man goes through the worst stuff. He fucking loses Uncle Ben, and then he doesn't get MJ. In in the first Spider-Man movie, that's basically what it's leading up to, is he's taking responsibility to be Spider-Man. And by the end of the movie, MJ wants him, and he's like, I can't do that. That he wants it, but he knows it's his responsibility not to have it, so he gives it up. And that's heartbreaking, man. Like, as opposed to Tom, where MJ just finds out and guesses, and they're together from then on. And then in No Way Home, he does lose her, but he knows that he can't have what he wants. And then that leads into Spider-Man 2, where he's losing his powers over not being able to be happy. Spider-Man's killing him, ruining his relationship with Mary Jane. He can barely pay the rent. This movie talks about bills. This guy got fired. He almost got fired from the Daily Bugle. He can't pay bills. He can't even get his paycheck because he got a payment advance. So he can't get his paycheck because he has to pay for his other paycheck that he got. And then on top of that, MJ wants him to come see a play. He ends up not being able to see the play because he's Spider-Man, and then finds out she's engaged to another guy. And throughout all of this, he's losing his powers as Spider-Man, losing his opportunity with Mary Jane. Everything's crashing down on him, and he can't pay rent. So he just goes through the fucking work in this movie, and it is sad to watch. And then by the end of it, he ends up getting Mary Jane. And then number three is where, like, the weaknesses show. But there's still the problem with the rent. There's still all that stuff going on, and it's a sad movie. Peter is kind of a dick. There's Bully Maguire in that movie. Like, they did the symbiote so wrong. But then you do have some of the best supporting characters, like Sandman. He's a wonderful character. I wish he got more screen time. I wish the movie focused just on him and didn't have to split it up between everything. So overall, Tobey's my favorite because he's honestly the best Peter. He struggles the most, which I'm not saying Spider-Man has to struggle the most, but that is a big part of his character. And Sam Raimi did understand that. He even put in a financial aspect that not a lot of the other Spider-Man had. Like, Andrew was always with his Aunt May, and Peter basically always was funded by Tony Stark. So let me know if you agree, disagree down below, and I'll talk at you later.